Welcome to our daily reflection for this Thursday, September 26th. And today is about the wisdom to understand that life is short and fleeting. And so we have the gospel where Herod is trying to find Jesus, and he admits and boasts that he beheaded John the Baptist. And so, when people say, oh, this is John the Baptist come back from the dead, Herod's out to get Jesus. And what we see is that the wicked will persecute the righteous. And then that gives us a frame of reference for the people of God. And then we think of the first reading here from Ecclesiastes. And you have this Kohelet who stands as the figure of Solomon. And he says, vanity of vanities, everything is vain. And it'd be easy to take this as just kind of a simple, shallow despairing. But there's something deeper going on. Ecclesiastes is written with the figure of Solomon as its subject, because Solomon had all the success of the world. He had incredible worldly wisdom, which helped him gain and grow a powerful kingdom. It helped him gain incredible wealth. It helped him gain incredible notoriety and prestige. So he had everything of fame, of money, and he had plenty of women with all that fame and wealth as well. And so what this book looks at is, okay, here's a man who has all the success and fame and title and power of the world. And what did it benefit him? And what you realize is having all success in the world that you can dream of doesn't fill you up. It doesn't satisfy the heart. And so it goes on and says, look, the eye is not satisfied with seeing, or is the ear satisfied with hearing. Solomon had musicians. He had 700 concubines, besides the 300 wives. His eye could take its fill every day, but still be hungry. His ear was always hungry for more music, more entertainment, more noise, more pleasure. And yet, like the rivers that flow into the ocean and the ocean's never filled, our heart, our appetites for food, for drink, for music, for what we can see, can never satisfy our heart. Our heart is that ocean in which the senses are like rivers, coming in and filling us and never fully satisfying us. And of course, it was Augustine who so beautifully put this, that our hearts are restless, O Lord, until they rest in you. And Solomon shows us that the world is too small to satisfy our heart, right? And that's something to ponder. And then we have Psalm 90, which is a psalm attributed to Moses. And here's Moses at the end of his life, an old man. And yet Moses has a wisdom that Solomon lacked. And it's interesting to contrast Solomon's perspective versus Moses's. And I invite you to do that. But one of the things, he knows that, life is vain in a certain sense, that you turn us back to dust, O Lord, right? And, we're like the grass that springs up in the morning fresh, but by the end of the day and under the withering sun withers. And yet, Moses doesn't despair like Solomon. Moses says, teach us, Lord, to number our days aright, that we may have wisdom of heart, to know how to use the short days that we have well, right? And that you, therefore, he says, Lord, have pity on us in light of the shortness of our life, and fill us with your kindness at daybreak, that we may shout with joy, and that you may prosper the work of our hands. In other words, labor blessed by the Lord can be fruitful in the end. And that's a different perspective than Solomon had. So let's pray that we may have the perspective not of Solomon, who saw everything as vain, but Moses, who saw that life is short, but we entrust it into the mercy of God, that he may bless it and bless us in his presence forever, that we may live with God forever. And of course, it's knowing that we will, be raised from the dead, as we're going to see in the readings tomorrow, that gives us hope in spite of the vanities of this life. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thanks to God's providence, I'm speaking to you from the Augustine Institute's new campus in St. Louis, Missouri. We have this wonderful 286-acre state-of-the-art campus, which is going to allow us to transform our mission from simply having digital platforms to now having a physical platform that complements those digital platforms. It allows us to provide in-person education and training in the faith. We think this is going to be transformative, increasing our student enrollment, providing and allowing us to have conferences and retreats for the church and for the Catholic laity and religious across North America. Help the Augustine Institute serve Christ and the church with this new campus. A gift of $100 or more will allow you to receive a gift in preparation for Advent called Waiting for Christ by St. John Henry Newman. We'll send that to you before Advent, and you can go to augustineinstitute.org/give and make a donation today.